So there were a lot of things being said negatively about the latest news in regards to PSSR and potential FSR 4 related updates to the AI and machine learning technology. It has sparked this. Shout out to our good friend, William Aguilar, good friend of the channel. He put this out here. So I want to read this tweet to you, and then we're going to talk about it on the back end. He says, Project Amethyst clarification. I really wish people would read and understand what Mark Cerny is actually saying instead of running with false, misinformed, or misleading narratives and headlines. To be clear, Project Amethyst is a joint venture cooperation between AMD and Sony PlayStation. PSSR and FSR are two different AI upscaling, machine learning, and texture detail improving technologies that are both being improved through the Amethyst cooperation. In other words, new discoveries and improvements to FSR will be implemented in and help improve future versions of PSSR, and new discoveries and improvements to PSSR will be implemented in and help improve future versions of FSR. The upcoming update to PS5 Pro will be an updated and improved version of PSSR, which will implement elements of the improvements made to FSR, which were able to be made due to studying PSSR. It is a virtuous cycle and feedback loop where they continue to improve each other, but are two different systems. So I want to try my best to answer the question. Is that a bunch of hoopla from our good friend William Aguilar? Or are console fanboys trying to distort the reality of what's going on with PSSR in relation to FSR 4, the Amethyst project, in order to steer you away from looking at something that could be groundbreaking on the console front? What's up, people? It's your boy MM2K of Hard Knock Digital Culture, Cloud Dosage, MM2K Gaming, back again with another episode of The Sure Shot. This is where we talk about the latest and greatest in video gaming news and bring you to a much bigger discussion that we have. And we'll show you how to get to that discussion. Do us a huge favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and rock those bells for notifications, please. All right, let's get into it. So our good friend William Aguilar put that out there. Yeah, I think a lot of people are confused because you do have console fanboys that are at the center of this confusion, and this is what they want. But we're at a point in time to where the console war is over, right? And when I say console war, I don't mean the battle of fanboys. That's the definition that has been reappropriated to console war. Peter Moore recently did an interview with Gamertag Radio, shout out for the interview, where he explained in proper context what the console war is. So for a lot of you that are new to this, that misappropriate the definition of the word console war, understand it's simply the battle between the two platforms from a business perspective. The rah-rahing on the side from the super fans and those with the serious, connections to these brands and these companies. That's not what it's in reference to. That's fanboying. Okay. Console war is the business behind the competition. But the fanboying that is happening out here is causing confusion. That's what the fanboys want, because they have either these parasocial relationships with these platforms, or look, they don't want to mess up their cha-ching. They don't want to stop their ad revenue and the clicks and stuff that they get. So they're going to keep feeding the monster. They keep feeding the gremlin way past midnight. You get confused because you get caught in the middle of this. Here's the skinny. A lot of the reason why some of you guys are confused, and again, it's not all fanboys though. Like, when you get to our bigger discussion, you'll see where we make reference to a discussion that's happening in our actual Discord. And click the link if you want to join us in the Discord. And shout out to Dr. Spaceman that is in our Discord. He's of clouddosage.com. So check out his good stuff there and the rest of the team's stuff there. But there is a relation to cloud gaming that kind of makes sense out of all this, right? And a lot of you guys, when I was covering Stadia, GFN, cloud gaming, and all that other stuff, when I was covering it more heavily, you guys laughed at the effort. You guys like, oh, this Stadia dosage channel, oh, what is this? Stadia sucks and all this other stuff. And you completely ignored the rise of the technology that was being covered there. And you did it at your own peril, because now you don't understand what's going on with PSSR as it relates. And I'm not talking about cloud gaming per se. I'm talking about a staple of cloud gaming, or modern day cloud gaming, which is AI and machine learning. To give you guys a prime example of why William Aguilar is actually right, and you guys are totally missing the mark here, and why you really don't even understand what's going on, let me just say this. Let me use two examples. Stadia and GeForce Now versus what PlayStation is doing. When Stadia first came on the scene, remember they dropped Project Storm, or I think that was the name of it, right? Where they gave you access to Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and you could play that at will. You could play it at 1080-30 on your web browser, right? Now, the output was like, okay or whatever, but the fact that you could play Assassin's Creed Odyssey 1080-30, right, on a web browser with good fidelity and stuff like that, and good, performance and latency was amazing to a lot of people, right? But more importantly, Stadia took that feedback, added it to the retail version of Stadia, which was Stadia 1.0. So they had an actual beta because they didn't have enough of an offering to sell you something retail. They can only give you one game and give it to you at 1080-30, which 1080-30 wasn't knocking anyone's socks off, but the fact that you could do it on a browser was amazing. But that's all they could offer you. They offered you that to give you the retail version, which is Stadia, which they can give you 4K 60. Now, with all this AI and machine learning technology, whether it's in the cloud or anywhere, there has to be like a major milestone moment that you want your technology to reach. There is no such thing as endpoint, because with AI and machine learning, it always grows and always gets more advanced, and you always got to make updates to meet the advancements, right? But with the AI and machine learning, you may have a beginning point, but you got to have a major milestone moment that you're going to reach. That major milestone moment for Stadia was 8K 120. Remember they talked about that? And they never reached it. Why did they never reach it? Well, it was rumored that at the sale of Bethesda to Microsoft, the Orion technology was supposed to be a major staple in that advancement. And of course, that never happened once Microsoft bought Bethesda. All right. And the rest is history. So Stadia couldn't reach their major milestone moment because they didn't control their own destiny. If the rumors are true, a big part of that advancement they had no control over, was owned by Bethesda. Now let's go to GeForce Now, where GeForce Now got a different story. GeForce Now was able to meet their major milestone moment. Remember, they came into the game, and me and a lot of other people looked at GeForce Now even when they hit retail, was like, it's not as good as Stadia, but I believe it was around 2022 that came out with GeForce Now, the 3080 tier, which ended up being GeForce Now Ultimate. And the 3080 tier, performance and output wise, made enhancements that started to excel Stadia, and right now, their 4K 60, well, as far as quality, well exceeded what Stadia was able to do at 4K 60. And they were able to reach that major milestone because they did control their destiny. They made the quote unquote SuperPod technology themselves that allowed them to do GeForce Now Ultimate. The thing is with them, GeForce Now went from beta to retail to GeForce Now Ultimate. It took them about I want to say almost 7 years, 5 to 7 years to be exact. What does that got to do with PlayStation? Well, PlayStation, on the other hand, they are reaching a major milestone moment only a year after the fact. Not only do they control their own technology and their own chips and stuff like that in relation to PSSR on their own, it's their own proprietary stuff, unlike Stadia, as far as reaching that milestone moment, but it's not taking them 5 to 7 years to do it. So in the modern usage of AI and machine learning to support either a service or a platform, this is unprecedented. And like William Aguilar alludes, Project Amethyst, the joint venture between AMD and PlayStation, is huge, because they're both picking at this and using the technology and the discoveries that they make and applying it to their own upscalers. FSR 4 upscaler is benefiting from this, and PSSR is benefiting from it. So whatever breakthroughs are made on either side, the other side will be able to benefit as well. It kind of reminds me of Kojima working with Guerrilla in devising the current iteration of Decima that we all know and love, that we saw with Death Stranding 2. My God, my God, my God. That was between a similar union, even though it's different technology, between Kojima Productions and Guerrilla Games. Because remember, the original iteration of the Decima engine started off as the Killzone engine, then, you know, at some point in time became Decima, and Kojima worked on it and enhanced it. So, yeah, this is crazy stuff. Look, the fact of the matter is that native technology, as far as gaming output and performance is concerned, has hit a wall. There hasn't been any major breakthroughs. That's why you're hearing of so many complaints in regards to the 50 series RTX cards raw power versus the 40 series, right? AI and machine learning is the actual gap creator right now. Until a new native breakthrough happens, if ever, this is it. So, yeah, I'm totally with William Aguilar. I think people misunderstand what's going on here. And there is a bigger discussion, not just from the fanboys, but from people that actually have PlayStation 5 Pros that feel like, oh, based upon the news, not understanding it in totality, in my opinion, but feel like, oh, you know, we just got sucked into a beta. That's all this was. Now, in my opinion, Stadia's Project Rain or Project Storm, I believe it was called, where you got to play Assassin's Creed Odyssey, that was a beta. You had very meager offerings, just one game, 1080p 30. Here, I'm playing Stellar Blade, Spider-Man, all types of Monster Hunter Wilds. Like it was crap, you know, optimization, but it was optimized in a way where it was really the best place to play it almost anywhere on the PlayStation 5 Pro. That's crazy. So you can't compare this to some type of meager offerings. Has every patch been perfect? No, but it wasn't like that at the rollout of DLSS. You guys remember the horror stories about that? FSR when it first came out. Like, come on, let's be real here. I think Sony is off to a better start than those technologies were at the beginning. Was it perfect? No, but I think they've learned some critical lessons, and we're already going to get some major milestone upgrades soon. So with that said, that's it from your boy. Let's have the bigger discussion with our members. Hit that join button and check out the card to the left. It'll bring you to that bigger discussion. But more importantly, hit that like button and let us know what you think in the comment section below. And until next time, you all have a wonderful gaming day. Peace.